You saw it there. You will not want to miss CWL Anaheim, June 14th to the 16th. Sure to be a very exciting and competitive open event here. And honestly, I can't wait to head out there. It's
I love Anaheim.
What?
Absolutely
Why?
love Anaheim. Last time I was there, not competing, because not the most recent game, but in Ghost, well, in Black Ops 3, I had like a 4.4 throughout an entire series. I'm pretty sure best individual performance. Nameless was there. He knows what it is.
You had a .8 at that event.
I doubt it.
Overall.
There's no way.
I'm mind blown that you
I don't believe it.
This got a 4.0 in one series, and then it had a .8 at the event.
I don't believe it. That is a lie. I don't believe it.
Definition of inconsistent.
You could probably look it up. It's the internet. It exists somewhere.
You're right.
I'm sure someone's probably looking that up right now, but now you can see it on your screen. Our schedule. Up next, Uyu Verse Luminosity. Both of these teams having a little bit of a tough time, but we want to focus on Uyu first and study. I think we've said it before here on the desk. Uyu probably sitting at the very, very, very bottom of this division.
Yeah, Uyu, even with their roster change, I felt like they really haven't improved just in general. And Royalty, obviously, he needs to be the superstar for this team, but he's just really inconsistent sometimes. We saw him that one play where he had a 5-piece grab slam, but just overall, this team is just so inconsistent from top to bottom in every single game mode. As you saw there, they were 2-10 combined in Hardpoint and S&D. That's abysmal. And the only thing you can possibly win is, I'm pretty sure, that one control versus Optic was unbelievable. We couldn't believe it. But just overall, I want to see, like, what they're actually here for. I keep saying
the battle of the birds.
Why are they here?
This matchup right here.
Yeah, this match is tough right here. Like, the fact that I don't think LG is a sure favorite in this match just goes to show you the form of that team. Because, I mean, UIU they're just, right now they're at a point where they're just clearly struggling. Like, it is what it is. Everyone's been on those teams before in the past, at least once, and that's what UIU is going through now. They picked up the sub for Proto. It's not his fault, but they just haven't been firing on any cylinder. We always say they're going to fire on all cylinders. They're not firing at all. So hopefully they use this weekend to come back stronger, because right now this is tough scenes.
Yeah, both these teams are 0-4 at the moment. A lot of stuff to work on, down to the fundamentals. I think both these teams are flawed in that regard, so I do think Luminosity does have the edge in terms of just gun skill, but they're so broken that I can't possibly predict who's going to win this match.
LG's going to win this match.
All right, well, there you go.
But I mean, we've talked about it before, the concept that, you know, LG has gone through.
Wow.
Well,
That's not ideal.
They're going to win in Hardpoint.
Hold on, look at that stat above these players, and just like, this looks like a broken graphic.
Looks like it was not
Yeah,
completed.
it just doesn't look like it makes sense whatsoever.
But to that point, Nameless, we've talked about how they've gone through difficult times before, and then they came back and did win a chip. So do you think we might be able to see that sort of a resurgence here?
I don't know. Last time they went through difficult times, they said they were at their apartments watching VOD. This time, Gunless went to EDC and was like turning up at raves and stuff. So I don't know if they'll be able to break out of it this time. I think that this team is probably pretty broken right now, thinking about other rosters and what they can do in the future.
Well, that's going to be tough, though, right? Because obviously roster change isn't going to happen for a while. So do you think they just say there's not a point to trying, or they don't want to try? Or
I mean, you still get money.
Obviously, that's speculation, right? You're not in their heads. But
yeah, you still get money per match per win, and then also you're trying to increase your stock as a player as well. So you want to be that guy that people look at and they're like, hey, I am that guy's going hard. Maybe I do want him on my team. So yeah, they're gonna try. They're gonna go out there and play their hearts out in every single match. But the preparation before that maybe not gonna be so good.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely tough to see. But Pac, as you said, you still favor them over UIU just based on the gun skill.
Just based on who they are as players. Like, all these guys are so talented that if they do decide to, you know, get on the somewhat of a similar page, they should be able to beat UIU, who just doesn't have the manpower that LG has, and they don't have that good of teamwork themselves.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is definitely, I think, going to be a difficult matchup for both of these teams, but we will see now if UIU or LG can pull out that win. We're going to hand it over now, of course, to Mark and Maven.
Thank you to the desk. And yeah, last series was a battle of the teams that are 4-0 over the last week or so. Now it's a battle of the 0-4. And I think that stat we saw was pretty startling. I mean, we know that LG has been struggling, but it's how bad they've been struggling. 0-10 in Hardpoint and Search and Destroy since London. It's embarrassing.
It is not good whatsoever, and I mean, just talking to different people, they're not on the same page at all, are they? This sort of team, and it does sort of suck to see. We'll see what happens, because I think a big part of the narrative was, hey, you know what? Last week they had a bad week, but we've seen them do this before. They can turn it around. But I think after yesterday's loss to Reciprocity, a lot of us were kind of like, all right, this is a a big problem. Like, this isn't just something that they can fix. And even if they wanted to fix it over the weekend, you know, a player was out of town, they couldn't scrim, they couldn't get better. That sort of effort that you're looking for of, hey, we know who we are, we can do this, we can win a title, we can be one of the best teams in the world, it doesn't seem to be there right now.
And it's interesting because even I feel different about it all. Like I think I was one of the biggest people in their back pocket, like, you know, kind of in their corner after that slow start at the first leg when they started 0-3. I was one of the biggest advocates. I said they could turn it around. I had complete and utter faith they could do it. Now it feels hard to get behind them whatsoever. Just as a commentator, as a fan of Call of Duty esports, and you heard Pac-Man say, I think this is an LG series. You think they just have too much firepower, but do you feel this is going to be remotely comfortable for them based on where they're at?
I think they're going to win as well, but I think we might be surprised by how close it's going to be, because fundamentally, they haven't played well. Like, 0-10, you're doing everything wrong, right? Like, I get it. Like, you can point at stats and this and that, but it's not like they've been winning. So, and we've seen some bright moments for UIU, right? Just taking a look from the other side, like a roster that's always been going through changes, trying to find the right formula, trying to pick up new players. They've had moments, like we've seen moments from Royalty, Mayhem, and Methods, I think have been very consistent. So, yeah, I mean, if you're UIU, you smell blood in the water. Like, you can take advantage of this. You win this first map, and the guys on LG are just thinking, here we go again, right? Like, maybe someone says something smart, they get on each other's nerves. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is or what needs to happen, because there needs to be someone or a couple of these personalities at LG that just need to say, what, we need to put this BS aside and figure it out, because we have the talent to do so, but that's not happening. It's almost like they're letting their ego get in the way.
And I saw, I think, some stats from yesterday. Like, people were wondering with Gunless being gone, what going to EDC over the weekend. He was already frustrated they weren't scrimming with, and obviously they weren't going to be able to with him being gone. He's the one gone all weekend, comes back. I think he drops like a 1-2 over the course of the series. Everyone else is between like a 0.6 and a 0.8. Just the other four get absolutely fried. But yeah, it's just, dude, if they just get a map 1 win, if they could just get a map 1, I strongly feel, and I've said this before, maybe a different matchup, but map 1 is everything, just based on where these guys are at. If UIU can get in, get that map 1 win, it puts the pressure on LG, they start bickering, the comms go out the window, they're frustrated with each other, they collapse. But if LG can get the map 1 win on the board with how poor they've been, maybe it's just something to spark a bit of a fire within these guys.
It just sucks that it's one of those things where I think if they beat a Reciprocity in the UIU, we're talking about momentum, but even if they were, say, to win this match today, I don't know who they play tomorrow, but going into that match is sort of just like, yeah, we beat a team, but it was UIU. Like, I don't mean that, you know, against UIU, but
it's
for
a standing.
LG,
It's where they are.
it's not like a big win for them, like a confidence builder and booster. Instead of it's just, yeah, we were just simply better.
Well, it's just wild, like how bad they've been. That if you would have looked at this on the calendar 3 to 4 weeks ago, we would have chalked this up as an exactly an easy LG win. But now, who the hell knows what team will see show up?
And I'm actually interested for LG. At some point when you're struggling, most teams go through this. Something needs to change, right? Like, there needs to be a role swap. We need to get someone more comfortable, right? Like, even if someone else starts going a little bit more negative, we need to get John comfortable. Let's just talk about him. I'm thinking right away John and Maddox and Classic to SOG. Like, that just makes sense to me. We've seen a lot of SOG players this year. Like, I just look at, like, Kenny, for example, because he's the one that comes out. Didn't have the best stats with the SOG. Really wanted to run a Maddox. I don't know what those comms are, but it's just like at this point, it's desperation mode. We have to figure something out to get John on.
But it's like, even with Kenny, like, I understood it, like, the struggles, because like we saw him dominate last year with PPSH, which is like your do-it-all type weapon, and that was his first title. That was his breakout year. But John has a history, at least, of being dominant in basically every single game with his sub. I mean, it's a little bit different, but I think you're on the mark with change something. Try it. Anything.
Just put a little bit more effort. Like, I don't know. It's hard to watch. It really is, because I've been on teams that have struggled. And again, like, I get it. There's big personalities, but someone's got to be the adult here. Like, if someone wants them to play one way and another person wants to play them a different way, you need to figure it out and just say, you know what? Let's play his way. We'll try it out for, a week or two. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else. It just doesn't feel like that communication is happening.
Do you think they need, and I don't know the relationship with Ricky and this particular team, with him from a coaching standpoint, but does that fall on him maybe to be like, guys, shut the hell up, this is what we're going to do? If the players aren't able to do it amongst themselves, I mean, surely that falls to the coach maybe?
What I would do is lock them in a room and tell them to yell at each other.
What did I say to you like 45 minutes ago? I was like, give me 3 hours locked in a room with this team.
Yeah, just.
I feel like I could fix some stuff. There might be some punches thrown, but I would.
Sometimes that's just what it comes down to. And when you've been a team for a long part of the time, there's things as a player where like you're just annoyed because this player does stuff like outside of the game, like externally, and that might not build up until you do start struggling. So now maybe there's just some external issues, right? Like, I don't know. It just feels like you need to go to a room, need to yell at each other, and all get on the same page.
Yeah, I know it feels like, sorry, I know we talked a lot about LG,
That's
not
a
as
big
much
story.
about UIU, but yes, that is maybe the biggest story currently within Division A, and it's just an expectation thing. There wasn't a high expectation for UIU's performance. There was for LG, and just to see this it's staggering. It's truly unbelievable. But if there's going to be a turnaround, you hoped it would have started yesterday for them, but maybe this is where it can begin to happen against UIU, and we're to kick things off on Seaside Hardpoint to see if LG can mend what has maybe been broken. Hopefully for them, not entirely broken.
We'll see what happens, and then maybe this is the switch. It looks like Slacked had a Maddox out, and they're gonna run Classic with the SOG.
And the one map, Royalty, you talked about him and the ability to take over, it was Seaside Hardpoint. That's where we saw just a ridiculous performance from him. Can he do that maybe yet again to give UIU a big chance within this series? But so far, every point on the board to LG. Slack now inside, not able to make the snap, but the reinforcements are there to try and break in on UIU.
So
already
trying
rotating,
something different. They're at least trying something a little bit different with Slacked running a Maddox Classic on that SOG, trying to get somebody going. John, though, is able to find 3 kills. He's 7-0, able to find some streaks now. Great play from John, as we were just talking about it. Maybe this is why you keep him on that SOG, and he's able to stay alive with a little bit of help from Gunless near that white van. So a great start for LG. But I like it because Slacked for a while in previous years was one of the more consistent players that we've had within the league, and was one of the more underrated guys, especially in the slaying category. So maybe you put a Maddox in his hands, he can do some work with it.
Let's see. It's exactly what you asked for. Maybe a bit of a change. And see if that propels them. But now they have to deal with the hot start from John and those streaks that are going to be so crucial in transition to our next hard point if needed. But maybe to counteract that, Methods can pick up some of his own. He's on a 4 spree, 170 off streaks. Coming over the top was John. Hasn't been able to get the kill quite yet. Sorry, coming over the top was Slacked, who wasn't able to get the kill. Here comes the pressure, can't take the first gunfight. His teammate not able to trade. That's 2 in a row for Formal, as we'll hop to the POV of the rotation. UIU going to be set up, and now it's going to be John Streaks more than likely opted to use to try and get a break here.
Yeah, if you're LG, you're just trying to get a good amount of map control right now. You're not trying to push too far and get caught out like we just saw one player do. So now they have to wait for 3 and 4 to move up about midway. Classy, that's not good timing. You just have to wait for the streaks. Methods is able to find 2. That's huge. That's basically going to push him out. But Slacked flies on through, actually flips the spawns with the grapple. All of the UIU players went inside, and now LG, they're able to break. I thought Methods was going to allow them to hold on, but Slacked with a heads-up play.
Yeah, it seemed like worst-case scenario. The Hellstorm comes in and 2 of your players drop at the same time, but the streak ends up coming up big. Slacked, as you mentioned, with the play to do it as well, and John keeps the hot streak. He's now 12 and 4, 3 in a row. Again, to try and make the play. We'll switch over to John's POV as he's on transition into barrels. Inside a church, that's the number 7. That's Method that's set up. The reinforcements coming in. Now John trying to get what information he can as the rest of his team starting to flood into barrels.
Yeah, he's got the whole team to deal with, and because that player gets taken down, that's going to be 4 dead for LG. So UIU, they'll have the setup that they want. You see number 5, that's Classic. He's trying to go on a pinch. He's going to have a one-on-one against Mayhem, and this is actually a 4 versus 5 if they go fast, because the Methods is going to spawn out, but that's going to work out for Methods and UIU. Give them numbers advantage now.
A big hard point for UIU as they were down, 60, 70 points. UIU now trying to desperately bring this back inside of barrels. LG able to get in behind John, though. He's the one that might be able to make the play, but it's Royalty that's the next man up. Royalty putting in damage on just about everybody. He gets 2 before he falls. Now it's Mayhem's turn. Look at the combination of grenades. The cluster from Mayhem, the fragging from Methods, drops 2 players, but through the flank is Gunless, who opens things up. 20 seconds now remaining on the hard point as we'll get into our second set. The number 5 is Classic all the way across and trying to deal with the opening push from UYU. He's going to get caught, but the flank comes in. Slack there, should be able to trade both. Him and Gunless combo to pick up 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was mainly just Gunless as he finds those 3 kills on that rotation. They still have the lightning strike as well if things get a little bit hairy towards this first hill. I thought that's what they were going to rely on that rotation. They pushed the last 20 seconds of the last hill, but it's Gunless who's able to find 2 more. That's all 5 dead right there for UYU. Yeah, and it just feels like, you know, you can see some of the LG guys get going. This is what we're talking about. The talent is there.
John and Gunless really carrying it so far. Tac 5 in, War Machine in, trying to back him up. The grapple does come in over the top. That's a direct to the face nade. As Zaptius catches one. Well, Classic, you get one too. John's War Machine will run out, but he's delayed the push. I mean, there's only 25 seconds left on this hard point, and UYU haven't really gotten a full man push on this at all.
I'm just taking a look at the top lift as well. Gunless actually using the Tempest, right? It's typically Formal, right? Who runs the Tempest character, Prophet, for LG. So then maybe just another subtle change where Gunless wants another, you know, playmaking, you know, ability on his side.
This is exactly what you want to see, though. They have a bit of a change when you talk about the weapon repertoire they're pulling in, then also the specialists as well. But as much as we see them performing well within this first hard point, I think the communication side of things is our biggest question mark, especially if UYU start to bring this back. I'm going to get right into an Astro Gaming listen-in with Luminosity.
Church.
Run the church.
One could be a hole, one could be a hole.
Grab it. Damn, one shot, nice.
There's 2-0. I have slam, stop this play.
Pretty sure you fucked up.
Nice. I'm coming.
He dead. Here, okay, he's wasted 2. He wasted a slam. That's fine. It was stupid.
He has Tempest out, guys.
Tempest unheld.
Yeah, checker, mayhem.
I'm coming out, I'm a sniper. One tall.
Checker's dead.
I'm going now. Go.
Oh, wait, Tempest one bullet.
Oh, wait, parts.
Bars dead. Got him.
Go.
Hold your spawn.
I spawned dead. I'm better.
Fine.
Perfect. Yo, I still have a lightning.
All 4 of them spawn out. There's only one here. There literally can only one be here.
Hard throw at the back.
2 hit ult.
I'm
staying top yellow. There's 3 hit ult, guys.
He's back weak.
Mayhem, watch out.
Nice shot.
I spawn out.
I'll back to back.
Good
They
time.
could be cafe.
Mid lane, Chris.
Sorry, cafe.
I have all in mid. John, turn around.
Don't turn around.
In the back. Right, 1-0.
I come outside of yellow.
Straight John if you want.
Yeah, I'm about to actually. Yeah, you're right. You one's back alley. There's 2 on you in the back. Stay back.
I'm in the back right now.
I put one in the back alley.
I'll see you.
Nice. One in the back.
You stay there left alley.
Left alley.
LG do a solid job with the opening setup, but a nice break from UYU is going to force them to bring the lightning into it.
Oh no!
Gunless making the play. But I just want to hear from you, as much as we've been on top of LG and their performances, I thought it sounded pretty good in listening.
Yeah. Comms game 1, I don't think really, you know, you're just sort of going with the flow, right?
What do they like if they lose game 1?
Yeah, sort of. Maybe if we get to a game 3 or a game 4, if they're down in the series, what are the comms like? But yeah, it just feels like, you know, when you're trying something new, maybe the scrims before this went well. Not sure how those went, but it just seems like, yeah, they seem to be on the same page right now.
But I liked it from Gunless too, just little stuff like talking about the fact that he thought it was a wasted grab slam, talking about holding the spawn for John, talking about the fact that there literally can only be one setup in the back. Like, it seemed like he was being a general at times. I like what I heard.
Yeah, a lot of specialists being used right now. Grab slam from Slash, Purifier in from Methods. Formal though, he's going to come out on top. As you heard the War Machine, I believe, come in from John, but he gets taken down. Now you have it in from Mayhem as well. Everybody investing in their specialists on this barrel hill is these 35 seconds. If UIU is able to hold them, will only bring them down by 40 points. And John used that lightning strike on the last hill, so no more streaks for LG.
They're going to bring this very, very close with the final moments. We'll hop to the other side of this. This is the big transition that Gunless and Slack, I believe, were able to win together. Last time it was Gunless that came through on the flank. This time it's Formal breaking through that finds the opening kills. And that's 2 times in transition to first that they really do it flawlessly.
And the last time, though, they were getting the scrap time, right? So this time they had the advantage, you know, on the rotation. But the last time, yeah, it was when you were still getting scrapped. That's why it was just so impactful. Yeah, good job at least getting into the hill. Now can they hold on? Zaptius, he's trying to fly in, but it's Classic almost finds the third. Formal now just trying to stay up, but UIU, they're able to get control of the hill, and now they're only down 35 points.
Brazilian going to take the trophy out as well. Vision Pulse available for an upcoming hardpoint. Nice one-on-one win against Classic as he continues to finesse. There's the lightning strike in, finds a Sog. Only 7 in the clip though. Needs to get the Maddox reloaded as well. There's nothing really to use there. A chance for a lead change if UIU can hold this, and it looks like Luminosity have got to give up the remaining time. This will be right around a tie game when it's all said and done. Brazilian gonna bring it in, the Vision Pulse, to try and win this 4v5 on the other side of the map, and they're doing just that.
Yeah, Mayhem's able to pick up too. I love that Vision Pulse usage on the rotation. They have the spawns as well near the back. Mayhem's just gonna back on up to make sure they have it.
And now the big difference, we've talked about John's streaks of when we get the Fountain. Now it's Brazilian that has that lightning strike that could be huge, depending on how this hard point goes and who's got the setup early for Fountain. But that's going to be a 4-man clear. 4 down now for LG. UIU down the stretch, starting to run away with this. And now it's when you're curious about the LG comms. The frustrations start to build. They have a lead throughout basically the entire game. And now it's evaporated. They're going to throw another push at this. UIU still spawning in the back. They're going to be able to contest and at least get in for the final, 30 or so seconds.
Well, that's sort of, LG had a decision to make. Even with 35 seconds left,
we've seen people.
Are we going to sort of push on this? Because if we mess up and they get all the kills, that's when it's just very bad on that rotation. You spawn towards the back. Now UIU. To have the lightning strike, though, they're going to be about 25 seconds from taking game number 1.
Does it all come down to this lightning?
For the most part, I think so. Classic's getting close to Vision Pulse, so if we do go down the stretch, maybe even a Barrel Hills, LG can still have that.
It is.
Brazilian and Mayhem, they're going to find some kills, so Pars is going to hold on for just a second till the spawns come in. They're going to connect with a couple. The LG members in the back trying to stay alive. They're able to do so, but Formal and Slacked just trying to wait for reinforcements as Pars is still back. Able to find a second.
That's one hell of a win. Is that enough for UIU? Just 25 more seconds needed, 30 on the hard point, but the flood coming in from the side steps now for Luminosity to get in. Grab slam available, the pound comes through, Slacked is gonna drop, but everything's mostly been contested throughout this.
They've held on.
Yeah, neither team able to get the win here. We're gonna see another rotation. Let's hop over to it.
Yeah, now Formal, he's gonna close his streaks as well. Slacked. He's here with Gunless. The Vision Pulse is what I was talking about. Classic was able to earn it on this rotation in the barrels. All tied up. Could come down to this hill. You have a bit of a pinch right here from LG with those spawns. Zaptius, he's going to use the Tempest. He's able to connect with one. So no Vision Pulse. It's not that successful for Luminosity.
John and Slack, if they can get some kills, they're getting very close to picking up their specialist, but it's Zaptius making the plays inside. He hits the shots right before the trade comes in. The War Machine will now be up. 15 more points needed for UIU. LG is spawning out, and they've got to get in. John is so close to the War Machine. Needs one more kill if he's going to make the play, but somebody's got to get a contest in. This is the push. Everything behind this, there's the 2 entries. LG may have done just enough. The trade comes in. 2 players remaining for UIU. John gets one more trade. It's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one. John may have been caught, but the snap in the wind, he's able to do it. But UIU rotation, 4 points away. They can rotate. What do you have? Slack so close to slam. John has the War Machine.
Yeah, one player's going to spawn out as well, number 9, so Zaptius is going to have to rotate on through.
The nade was on his feet.
No, the frag grenade was under him. They have to contest it. UIU, are they going to hold on? They do. They find the kills, and UIU able to take map number 1.
Slack just barely dips out of it back into steps. He's trying to finesse and stay up to get the grab slam in, but that little shoulder out is just the tick that UIU need to get the victory. Oh, that was a fun map 1, but that is just another punch to the face for Luminosity. But let's take a look at the scuff play of the game. This is the turn and burn, the slide, the snap. Brazilian. What a play from him. I thought that would be it, honestly. When he got those 2 kills, I was like, it's done. LG do manage to get back in, but still a brilliant display of skill and movement from Brazilian.
No, that is not what you want. Brazilian able to hold on, and then he ends up getting streaks as well later on. He's able to do a wonderful job with that Vision Pulse on rotation. Brazilian really took over on that set of hills. A great game from him, and it's disheartening for a guy like John, because I've been critical of him. I know a lot of us have. Where is he? Where's that superstar that we know? It feels like you finally get what you want from him, and it's still not enough for Luminosity. They're up about 180 to 108, and then I think they got like 8 points over 3 hills. A great job, though, by UIU.
Well, speaking of UIU, Jess had a chance to talk with Methods before we hopped into this series. Let's hear what he had to say.
Thanks, Clint. That's right. And Methods said, well, I think both teams are really struggling here. He said, I think we're more composed than Luminosity is. I think our vibes are better, so I hope we can win. And then he looked at me and said, I don't know if we can, but I hope we can. Over on the side of LG, I caught up with Slacked, and really anytime I've talked with these guys, it's just been, of course, constant frustration. He said that they did change up a few things like roles and specialists, and kind of told me we're just trying anything at this point. It can't get any worse. So let's see how the rest of the series goes. Clint and Joe, back over to you guys.
Well, I like the bit from Methods about composure, considering, they showed that down the stretch. They certainly had that. And on the other end, what do you expect to hear? Frustration, but you do like to see some changes come in. At least they're trying different things. And maybe this is a good matchup to try and do that against a team that's struggling in UIU. It looked good to start. I mean, John was going off, Gunless was going off, Formal was going off. Your 3 heavy hitters were making plays, but when it came down to the composure and where you need the guys to really step it up, they couldn't do it in the final moments.
Well, it just comes down to what do we expect from both of these teams. For UIU, like you being the position that you're in, I know you don't want to be there, but it's what everybody, it's the expectations that a lot of, the outside has. So every single time you're just trying to improve every match. Where LG, they're on the way down. They're trying to figure out, they're trying to just hold on.
Well, we're going to take a look at the final moments of the hard point, as that was a nail-biting finish.
I thought John did it. I really did. Plus with the War Machine on rotation. Like, this was such a big one-on-one win against Zaptius. Allows his team to push on through, but it's a dead nade by Mayhem, who just puts it right on the stairs.
I saw the indicator right away, and I was just like, John, move. John, please move. John, please.
Yeah,
Lord,
he
John, move.
sees it.
He just walks onto it.
Right onto
he walks right onto it, and that's going to be one that's got to be so frustrating. But at first, for whatever reason, I thought it was a cluster at first, and I was just like, oh, he's dead. And it doesn't go up, and he's just standing there.
Oh, there was 2 people just staring at Slacked when he pop slam as well. Like, I don't know if he's able to stay alive if he doesn't shoulder back and get to the staircase, but that half second he steps off, that's how they win.
If we learned anything about Royalty's grab slam the other day in this same hardpoint, you can kill anyone in the vicinity, it seemed like. So, if he pops that, able to finesse around that in the middle, who knows? Who knows? But if they needed 2 seconds, maybe we'll see a different outcome. But they needed 1 more tick and that little bit of movement out before he pops the slam, enough to give UIU the win. But now we'll shift pace and head to Arsenal, search and destroy. You saw the stat going into this. They have not won a hard point.
0-11 now.
Also have not won a search and destroy.
Yeah, and I just think it's a big map for Luminosity because going down 0-2 at that point, you might call it there. Like, we talked about the comms in map 1. Solid. But now?
See, now I'm upset that we didn't, hear them later. I would have liked to hear them in, the final, 60 to 90 seconds just to hear if they kind of gone to hell. Once the comeback came, once they had lost the lead. Maybe not. Maybe they were fine and they just didn't make the play, but wow. Some wild moments at the end of the game 1. But it'll be offense first for Luminosity. Formal will have the Paladin out, and he's got a chance. That's just too easy. Royalty tries to do the wide peek, and Formal makes him pay.
Just guesses correctly, but there's a player for UIU inside vents. I thought Mayhem would have had an opportunity to make a play, and now he's sort of caught with an ICR. So bomb's going to be planted. 4 versus 5 retake for UIU. You don't have a lot of map position. See what they can find, if anything.
Holding it from window. Back and forth trades. Now a 3 versus 3. Formal almost gets ripped out of the window. His teammates have to go big. Slack wins a huge one-on-one. John's going to challenge as well, but he's going to get caught. 2v2 with not a lot of time to work with. Formal connects on his second snipe of the round. Now they can play it smart. Just not really enough time to make a play. Formal just has to do one last check. Not on it. 3 kills in the round for Formal, including the big first blood.
Yeah, I thought they played their numbers pretty well. As soon as there was a gunfight that went down, another player just sort of slid out for LG. They were able to, UIU was able to make it a 3 versus 3, but with 20 seconds left, it's just so tough to defuse that bomb. And it just starts with Formal.
Yeah, I didn't even see when that shifted because I thought that each kill was traded. I thought they still had a 1-man advantage. I looked up, and it was 3v3. I was like, oh. All LG. Oh, wow. I need some water. I'm choking. Oh. They're able to get the first round win. Now what can they do on defense? It's going to be a heavy hit towards the B side of the map for UIU. And Gunless just shouldering, trying to get some intel. Trophy out towards the site.
I like this trophy as well, but UIU just flies at him before the rotation's in. Typically in that position for Gunless, there's a player back here watching over you, so we can at least put a couple of bullets in. But UIU goes so fast, they find the first blood. But I say that 3 go down. The trophy, well, I thought the trophy would have ate that nade, but it's a 1 versus 3 now for Methods.
Nice peek for Classic. Now they get double challenge. The trade comes in. Slack gets it done. 2 rounds in a row for Luminosity. Informal, nice start.
That's everything you want, though, for UIU. Like, getting that first guy off the bomb is sometimes just such a pain in the butt, right? Like, how many times have we seen players just stay alive forever there? And it's usually because there's a player up top on that platform just weakening them up. But UIU commits so quickly, they're able to catch Gunless off.
And it's early in the round in the rotation, but it's another big snipe from Formal.
Yeah.
Because that I know it's not a first blood. Like, obviously, Gunless drops.
Zaptius got greedy with the bomb plant. He tried to plant it so wide, or he did plant it wide. He didn't want to get wall banged off of it, or maybe they have a setup for it where they can check to defuse a little bit easier. But because he is a little bit greedy, he doesn't have the bomb cover, and that's when he goes down.
I think I heard Slack say, I've got a nade available. We'll see if they maybe try to play behind this. Let's stick with him just to see what the placement's going to be and if he can find an opening kill. They just soar at it. Zaptius, though, able to get a kill, unlike Gunless was able to do. So that's going to make it a 4 versus 3.
Well, plus Zaptius had Methods watching over him. That's what I'm talking about, right? You have this, and now you have the player on the bomb. Formal's going to go down. They don't even use Slack's nades, so not sure why he called that out because he didn't even throw it.
Yeah, I heard him say it, so I'm assuming they were going to set something
I thought maybe
it.
You shoulder that, you see the player in the back, and you throw that grenade, but that doesn't happen. 2 versus 3 now as Jean's able to find 1. But the cluster does come in for Mayhem. So now it's all on the Classic.
Not an easy gunfight, but wins it 1v2, 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Bomb is just sitting down at B. He has a concussion. But the rotation comes in the 2v1. He should get caught. The wall bang in. Almost thought he was going to rip Parzillion for a moment, but a nice shot from Parzillion over the top to close out the round and get their first round on the board.
Just starts with that first blood for UIU. Zaptius and Methods, nice teamwork from them. They're able to catch Formal on the bomb. I think they were trying to get Formal the quick plant as well because he was close to streak. So that plant doesn't come in. His streak ends. No streaks for LG.
And how much does that change things up for a team when you switch to your bomb carrier as you're trying to get somebody's streaks? I mean, it's a big difference in how you push.
Formal could be a guy like potentially watching over that bomb site with a sniper rifle, trying to get those guys back platform. Instead, he has a different gun because he is planning.
Wow.
As well, Formal sniper is on right now. He's able to find another first blood on Royalty.
Royalty is having trouble having an impact in this game as he's been first blooded twice by Formal sniper. Gunless just barely gets away with 30 HP as he continues to try and spot. Now he'll call on the rotation. You see the swarm of blue arrows starting to head over towards B. Bomb is going to be planted now for UIU. Formal last time in this spot was able to get a pick. That time almost connects. Parzillion continues pre-firing. Now Slack's grenade comes into play. 2 have dropped though, 3 versus 2. Nice shot once again from Formal. He's 6-1. Methods gets pushed out by John. And that'll take us to 3-1.
Yeah, that's sort of the tough part with this bomb site. When you're the offensive team and you get bomb control, it is very tough to get your bomb planner alive, to get him out of there, and that's what happens. Slack finds 2, 1 with a nade probably on the bomb planner where he's just stuck out to dry.
We'll see the jump snipe one more time.
Nice little shoulder. And wow.
Okay. There was a whole lot on the screen there to work with.
Blame the kill cam.
Yeah, with some of the hit markers we see, that's a pretty shocking.
I thought Royalty was around the wall.
Yeah, it could be a little different, the kill cam sometimes. But what do you do now for UYU? And Royalty's been losing that battle consistently. Do you try and change
mid-map control? Yeah, mid-map control a little bit. Try to just avoid the sniper at all times. Take some mid-map pressure. Split the defense with the offense.
Two players playing deep for UYU. Bomb planter flies forward for LG. The trophy is coming out of his hand as the frag grenade connects. 2-drop. Now Royalty finally able to hit a snipe. Does it with the pistol as well. John, left on an island.
That's some tough timing right there. Yeah, he's
mid-toss.
Yeah. And that's one of those situations where you could be like, where's the trophy? And it's like, yeah, I was throwing it out. But because he's looking for a pick with that sniper, as that player is just watching over the bomb, he literally has it in his hand, and it's on its way. You heard it right there just pop, that little audio cue.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The COD gods are returning the favor for the snipe we just saw.
Yeah.
giving UYU one. Still a one-round advantage for Luminosity. His Royalty, it looks like he wants action again. He's going to keep sniping towards this site. Does he get caught by Formal once again? I think he actually got tagged up by one of the LG members, so he's going to back it all the way up towards Kitchen. You do have a bit of a mid-map presence for UYU.
Yeah, but they've left it. I mean, they're coming into this site, and LG hasn't moved because Gunless hasn't seen anything. So they're going to throw a shoulder. We'll see if that baits a rotation from Luminosity, and it doesn't. They stay, and now Formal, he's in a spot. Zaptia, so he knows that there's more pressure here besides Royalty. But Royalty, with the help of his teammate, able to find that first blood. We'll see if that swings things in their favor as Barzilliant able to find another one, but can Classic stay alive, not able to do so.
Royalty finally wins that sniper battle. I think he nailed it. A little bit of help and distraction from one of his teammates, exactly. Nice gunfight win from Gunless.
How's the bomb not going down there? The bomb's not planted.
And look at Vents. Slacks inside of Vents. He's got a chance to catch this. It looks like it's pre-aimed though. Royalty just holding. Gunless then caught from lobby. Thought for a second Slack might be able to catch the bomb planter.
It's a little scary with 20 seconds. You have to plant the bomb.
He peeks that like 2 seconds later, maybe. But maybe a bit of a confidence booster for Royalty now, who's able to come out of that sniper duel on top. Sticks with his gun.
Yeah, and you know, props to him for keeping it out, because I'll tell you what, my teammate keeps getting blooded. I'm like, dude, put it away. Like, we got to switch it up. But he's able to keep it out in the last few rounds. He's found kills, which have led to wins, and now the game's tied at 3.
Looks like they're worried about a bit of aggression from UYU on outskirts, and Mayhem is doing just that.
Yeah, they're able to spot him. I think he spotted him, so they know he's there, but Mayhem's going to back your way.
And you've got a lot of information for LG towards the B side. They've got 2 players pushed up nearly to bomb. It gets spotted by Method, so they rotate across. They've sold this completely by having 2 players there. They don't show anything really towards A. That opens up the site. LG opt to move forward. Maybe a little bit of some mind games there from LG.
Yeah, but you're okay for UYU, right? You have the numbers. You can rotate this site. You see they're sending 3 players on the flank. We'll see if Royalty can find another first blood. Nade's not going to catch anything, but can his snipe? He's going to spot Gunless, hits a hit marker, and there's Formal.
Returns the favor. 5v4 to Luminosity. You still have John inside the lobby, but he's going to end up falling. The one-on-one for Classic in the back. He's able to take it, but man advantage now to UYU. Slacked is the last man up. Everyone gets rolled through, and with 20 seconds left, they're able to hop the defuse. What was once a 3-1 lead for Luminosity. Now going to be a 4-3 edge over to UYU.
And yeah, you keep talking about those leads in rounds where you have the advantage. Those frustrations are going to build.
I think it was Mayhem that got 2. Maybe we'll see that in the best play. Yep. What he was able to do. That's exactly what it'll be.
Yeah, but they just send, 3 on the flank. It was the 2 ICRs. I think it was Methods and Barzilliant who actually found 2 kills to open that round up.
And I didn't see how John dropped in lobby. I kept thinking he was the one that was going to be able to make a play. For the LG side, that is. Well, now what can UIU do with the lead? Passive approach towards A. 3-man hit towards the B site. I think Gunless and Slack got a bit aggressive and spotted this push. Slack, can he connect it? He just ends up backing away, so the nade not able to do any damage.
Very similar to what LG did. They showed 2 players towards that B site, and now UIU is rotating towards A. But LG still has 3 men, and while Formal still hitting snipes. Now it's a 3 versus 3 as Rotate and Mayhem are able to find some kills. Classy trying to stay up in the corner, able to do so. He's gonna pop that heal, but now he's in a tough spot. And Mayhem actually on a 5 spree. Has the lightning, he's gonna ping it. Just to get that information.
30 seconds though, they still have to work this plant. But behind the lightning, they're able to back him up. Behind the lightning ping, that is.
And I like this. They've caught LG. They've read this correctly. They were gonna push through the middle of the map, and they're gonna plant for free at B.
All right, plant in, 2 versus 2.
And you might use a streak here to just win this round. As long as Mayhem doesn't get caught. There is a player here from LG. Method's so far back, so far away, he couldn't watch over him. There were so many openings. Now it's all on the Methods in a 1 versus 2.
1v1 now, Gunless versus Methods.
Yes,
Methods 9-4, having a game.
Okay.
Gunless at 2-6. Gunless though catches him and he's able to hit the shots. Plenty of time for the defuse.
That's on Methods. I feel like you have to be watching something there to keep Mayhem alive. He was so far back. The whole goal is to just be able to use a streak and just secure the round.
Maybe a little bit of luck for LG and a little bit of poor positioning from UIU.
Yeah, find some timings, but
Classic, great job staying alive and finding multiple kills from this spot. He thought he was in trouble, but the team fire across, I believe, slacked as well from outside lobby. They're able to line up a couple. As Classic makes the play to give them the edge early. All right. Mayhem used the ping, but still has the lightning and Hellstorm to use. Formal 8-5 has been hitting his snipe, so they give him another chance. Looks like he's going to take it back the window. They're just spraying each other through vents at the moment. Slack trying to finesse around lobby to see if maybe he can catch one. He's got a chance to do just that.
If Formal can hit this shot, that's Mayhem, who's backstairs, right? So that would be no streaks. But that's why LG is playing around this mid-map right now. Trying to get lobby control, trying to get numbers advantage, and Hellstorm in. Can they stay alive? It looks like they're going to be able to do so. He's going to catch one. Doesn't get Classic. He doesn't blow it up. I don't even think Classic knows that he was in danger.
But you bought a lot of time. LG was worried about the streaks, but now they have to make a play for the plant. John's cluster gets the opening kill. Gunless follows it up. 4 versus 3. Nades everywhere.
He used the lightning. He might use the lightning here. He's going to call it in. They're going to try to win this round. They got to get off the bomb. He's able to connect with 2. Just 8 seconds left. That's going to be the round for UYU, as there's just no time to plant for Slack.
Well, think you get, I mean, a minute off the clock before the first streak even comes in, or roughly in that ballpark. Nice use from the second streak, and that just, I mean, it's a gimme. You know they have to go for the plant. You know what site they're pushing towards. And they just cannot get away. I think it was Classic's POV. He's like, where do I go?
Yeah, sort of like, well, if I run this way, I'm dead. If I run this way, I'm dead. I'm dead.
UIU, one more round needed to go up 2-0. See if LG can get us to a final round 11. UIU just spotting out towards the A street. Formal spotted one. Royalty gets the hit marker. Formal gets the face.
Yeah, can't fool him twice, right? It was the same play where that player slid across, jumped up top, and Formal knew as soon as he spotted that player, that the peak from Royalty was going to be there, but Barzillion invents, able to find Formal, able to make this a 4 versus 4.
That's the second time he's been caught from that.
Yep.
It was just 2 rounds ago, right?
He's probably thinking there's a player watching the vent, or there's no way they could be there, and now UIU just pushes the site, so that first blood means nothing. It's all on the gunless, and now UIU up 2-0 in the series.
And that's what you were worried about going into this search and destroy. You said they just had to take this. They had to get the search and destroy, get it to a 1-1, or you thought it just breaks the back of LG's heart. Breaks the back of their heart? No, that's not a thing.
Just breaks their back. Yeah.
Breaks their back and their heart. Everything's broken.
Most people don't do well without a back.
Oh, Lord help us. UIU, an impressive win, and I think Slack's demeanor says it all there in the final shot of the LG side of the stage. It's a battle of the 0-4 squads over the past week and a half, and so far, it's all UIU. That is now 0-12 across hard points and search and destroy for Luminosity since London. It's been brutal. I don't know if it's going to get any better. Control up next. Welcome back. Things for LG are still horrendous. UIU is up 2-0, looking to close this out 3-0. So LG is what? They've played 4 series, and they were, I think, what, 3-0 and 3, 3-1 and 1? I think they've won 1 control.
They're 0-12 in hardpoint search.
That's all you need to know.
That's not good. Too really want to win.
How's that even a thing?
I don't know. I think they're trying to figure that out too.
Makes me sad.
It's weird because there's enough talent on this team where you would think like in one hard point someone would go off and they'd win it.
Yeah, they play with their feet. They can win a map. Like you would think. But
I don't know if that. They're not that talented.
No. I exaggerated a little bit there, Joe. But what worries me though is like how difficult. I mean, I think it's at the point where we can say this team is going to make a change. They're going to try to make a change. They're going to do everything they can to make a change. But the roster period is only 3 days, so it's not going to be easy at the upper echelon to do that, unless like it's something where you're trying to move like a Gunless who's so good.
Well, I think Pax said that. Like the hardest part is which piece do you move, and to get something done in such a short period of time.
Well, that's what I mean.
Has to be
like if you're trying to move like a, let's say, Classic, that might be difficult to do. But if you're trying to move a Gunless, that might be a lot more manageable, because I think he'll have a lot of stock, whether maybe not for an Optic or 100 Thieves, but maybe a Splice or something like that, where a top team will want him.
Or it comes down to maybe you take a chance on an amateur. And are you going to do that for Miami and Champs, right? Like, do you want a veteran in that position? Like, there's a couple of ways they can go. It'll be interesting. Or are they going to stick it out? I mean, I don't think they are. But it may just come down to we can't do what we want to do, and we have to do this.
Yeah. Well, LG at risk of being 3-0'd. What can they show us in the control? Really just one player left from either side. At this B site, Gunless goes in and challenges, able to clean it up, buy time for his reinforcements to come in. That's a snap and a half onto Royalty to get
and
3.
He got like a dead slide right there,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like he sort of messed up his movement, and he was still able to hang on.
But it does plenty to get LG back in the mix. 4 players from UIU still trying to hit towards this B side. Slack able to cut them in half. Barzillion on the other side has been looking for this opening at barrels, and he's able to find it. Wins the battle against the SOG player in Classic to find an opening on the bottom side of the minimap. He's going to just move into mid. It's John that's trying to pick this up, and John able to do just that. So there has not been much for UIU to work with to this point offensively. Lives, you're still about square, but you're down to 30 seconds.
Okay, and Classic we're going to have to take note of that. He accidentally changed to Firebreak, and now he's back to Recon. So, I mean, just a couple of kills that he got, but, you know, you can tell the difference in the vision pulse between him and Barzillion. I don't know, it's just a little thing that, might affect them in the future.
Maybe in around 5 or something, yeah. Well, a minute added to the clock as they get the first point, but now the hard part. The close defensive point is what they need to work towards next. They have a 1 life advantage, and they're looking for this next opening. You can see how slow Mayhem and Methods are working up towards barrels. They're so worried somebody's got aggressive on the LG side, but little do they know, everybody's kind of stacked it towards back church.
Yeah, LG just thinks, all right, they capped this point. They're all on this side of the map just trying to make a push, but they're just waiting. Gunless is watching the cross. Cluster's in. Not the best use of a cluster right there. Slack's going to find the first kill on this push, and now Trade's going the way of Luminosity as Gunless finds 2 more. A strong start from him. He's at 7-3. Formal 0-4 right now. Royalty able to find a lightning strike with the kills that he has and the points from capturing that zone. So a lightning and a hellstorm for him.
Yeah, you don't expect it at 3-3. Well, LG expect it. Does he opt to use anything earlier?
Here, yeah, maybe to try to win an offense.
Zaptius knocked to 20 HP, but look how close he is to streaks as well. He was 50 off, and he's going to go ahead and get caught. Doesn't look like Royalty's planning on using a streak within this push. 20 seconds now on the clock, 8v8. 3 go down for LG, but Slack still standing tall inside of the point. The challenge comes in once again. Gunless, he has found so many kills in flurries. That's his 2nd triple of the round. He has bailed LG out of some real bad spots on either point.
He's just, he might be a little ticked off, right? Going down 0-2 in this series and says, you know what? I'm not losing this. Like, I am not.
He doesn't get the triple at the first site. You probably have an extra 45 seconds maybe. You got a lot of extra time to probably work with because the point might get done way faster, at least towards the first. Then here, when you have 3 drop, it's just him and Slack that have to make a play, and he ends up getting 4 in a row to close out the round. Gunless, a 1-man wrecking crew in multiple spots within round 1.
Good thing for UIU, you know, you lose an offense. It's very difficult to win on C-side without specialists and without some streaks. But now you have some streaks. Royalty was able to acquire those. We'll see what he can find. They can, you know, either help them get back into a defensive round or help them capture an offensive win. And LG, it looks like they're going towards this A site, and Royalty's going to use a Hellstorm right away. Right. And finds nothing. And LG went in the barrels.
Yep, everybody inside gets absolutely nothing. There's a team kill that comes in, but still multiple down for UYU. Pressure to Church almost instantly, and you seem a little bit confused.
All right. I mean, I guess what his thinking is he's going to try and catch them as quickly as possible, plus wants to get some information at the start of the round, but I just think there's better ways to go about that, as Parzilian almost turns on Slack the second time this series.
That would have been a bad one, too.
Yeah.
Like, that Slack's able to kill him, but that would have been a nasty one considering the position it's like that top Church. Almost a wild 180. LG get their first bit of progress now towards B. Number 3 on the minimap, that's Methods. It's starting to push up, maybe make a flank or try to find some players off spawns if his teammates can get in. He's going to have to opt for the flank.
Someone from LG should be able to pick this up, and well, now they're going to have to, but he doesn't find the kill. Put some bullets into John. John just shouldering it. Still able to win the gunfight, but it's captured. So Methods flank, while he does find one, doesn't stop. It doesn't help his team from retaking this B site.
Maybe you need to be a little bit quicker, a little bit more patient. Well,
yeah,
quicker to get there, but a little bit more patient with that first shot. You got to connect, at least guarantee yourself a kill to trying to open up, and his teammates drop completely on the other side. Gunless is still going off. He's 16 and 8, double positive so far in this. Similar situation we saw the last time through. About a minute and a half to work with. Lives about square. But Royalty still has that lightning strike to use in a bad moment. And John, who was really strong, at least in that opening game 1.
Right.
Rough start at 3 and 9.
Yeah, Classic's playing pretty well with this SOG. They're able to find these kills, and now they're on this zone. All blue in the kill feed. John and Classic, both SOGs find another kill. This is going to be a tick, and potentially an offensive round win for LG. They're up 4 lives as well, still with a minute on the clock. So a lot of things going their way, and Gunless is going to pull out the Tempest.
Yes, it was.
To try to secure this round. He's able to connect with it one, and there we go.
Yep.
So it's not a flashy play, but they get the offensive win just behind that.
He literally said hit one shot.
Yep.
It kept the person at bay in the back building. It changed to the second at the door. That's all he had to do. Like you said, not the flashiest, but the one shot's enough to close it out. And I like the Tempest use. Just guarantee the round. Only way he blunders that is if he completely whiffs, and that's an easy shot with both trying to funnel through the doorway. It's finally some positive moments for LG, but it's not quite over yet.
It does get a little bit scary for UIU, right? Because I believe Hacienda's next. And we know that's one where Luminosity has a ton of reps. We could see this quickly going into a game 5.
Could be an early grab slam here from Slack. 2 of his teammates can drop it. They've gone 2 for 2. Slides in for the trade, not going to be able to do it. The one remaining player from LG was Gunless. He's going to get out with his life for now. I like that. Just don't challenge a 1v2. Wait for your teammates to get back in so you can take a 5v5 and try to get back in. So good patience from Gunless. Slack still with the grab slam. They want to play behind this, but the second he goes to slide in, the War Machine hits. He now needs another kill to pick up some streaks. Can't get back to the gun in time. Falls just 125 off of the streaks. That's going to be the B point to UIU and a 3-life advantage.
And Lightning was called in by Royalty, so I think those were some terrible streaks, considering
they don't get a kill.
They don't find a kill in just the way he used them. Typically, if you're on defense, like we saw in the last round, usually use it to spawn kill because it's an option, just like Frequency. Or if you're able to get inside Church, you use it to secure a round win and, you know, sort of force LG into your sights. But he doesn't find anything. We'll see how that affects them.
Wow.
Zapdius is able to snap on the Classic.
That's through the stun, too. That's a hell of a shot to get them into Church. Now they'll begin capturing the zone. It's really just Zapdius on it, trying to finesse around the tank and maybe make a play. His teammate drops. He does hit the next shot. 2 now down for LG. Slack still trying to get in. Might be able to do it behind the 2 kills from Classic, but Zapdius continues to make play after play. That was 2 for him with the SOG. Parzilian still here, gets down, somehow still stays alive. Lightning Strike gonna be ready though for Gunless, and he goes on another tear out to 20 and 12. But Luminosity Did they have one final trade to get the point? Classic with his second multi-kill of the period. But the problem is it's 15-7 in the live count to UIU.
Yeah, with 90 seconds left, if you're UIU, you're just playing around kills. You're just trying to not throw too many lives away on the site. So you have 3 streaks, and you got to talk about that the 2 that Zaptius has. I thought Slack was going to use the slam there. There was 2 players left. He saw them both cross the door, and instead he doesn't. And what happens after that is Zaptius finds 2 kills and gets those streaks. So sometimes we talk about maybe trying to find like the perfect slam that we see a lot of players do. I think Carmon Hot Mike was like, sometimes you just have to let it rip. And Slack has had this for a while. Maybe that changes the round. It doesn't change the round, but maybe it doesn't give them all of those extra streaks. Now it's all on the formal and a 1 versus 8.
But it's an impressive round for UIU. And the big thing is, yeah, so now you have 3 streaks to work with. You got an offense, which is the difficult part, so you got your offensive win. If you get it to a round 5 and another offense, if you can hold on to those streaks, like if you can get a clean defense, you hold on to some of the streaks, maybe you have a specialist advantage, like you can sort of see the comeback starting to reveal itself. But
I mean, it's just like the rest of the series. I mean, you had a 100-point or 80-point lead. You had a 3-1 lead in Search and Destroy. It's been all LG. And it's the same thing right now in Control. It's a 2-0 lead, and now UIU fight back in. A composure that Methods was talking about.
It's coming up big. You can see him just spamming, waiting for the 10 seconds to get it through. Tac 5 is in. Zaptius does get one inside the site, so does what Royalty couldn't with his streak, but unfortunately his teammate dies on the backside of the B point. Tac 5 up for either side. Slack really the only player on the map that doesn't have it available. They're going to call in a Lightning as well, so they're saying screw trying to hold on to any streaks. They want to use it to take as much time off the clock as they can for this opening push from Luminosity, but it's another streak that comes up empty. Slack still has that grab slam. Will we find an opportunity to use it? Not going to need to, though, as Formal gets 2.
What the hell are these streaks from UIU? These are some of the worst streaks I've ever seen. Like, you've just wasted 2 and you got absolutely nothing. 0.
You don't even have a life advantage.
Now you only have a lightning strike. You still have to win a round 5. You just put so much. It was almost like the psychology behind those streaks. They thought they were just going to defend that site, retake it behind those streaks, and now you're in a tough spot where the life advantage is for LG, and they have so much time to work with, and it's desperation time where that player, Barzilian, might even have to use the lightning strike to secure this round win.
Well, UIU at least able to get 3 down and kind of slow the bleeding, stagger the push a bit. It's Classic that's trying to push through, but he will get dropped, so he'll be coming off spawn. The only other close player to the point right now is, I believe, John, who's close to his War Machine.
Vision pulse in from, I believe that's Barzilian trying to stop the push, but Slack checks the corner. So yeah, I mean, they're seeing everybody, but they're not really finding those kills. As the trades are going to end up going in LG's favor with the team kill coming in from Royalty, and Classic finds 2.
Classic just gets caught trying to push to the back, but there's still 2 players there.
Yeah, I mean, LG's just playing around kills right now. They have a 5 life advantage. They're just trying to spawn kill. Just make this as hectic as possible.
As long as they can keep trading 1 for 1, you're in a pretty good spot, and Slack has been here for what seems ages. That's one you can't get. Methods put in the dirt as Slack stays alive. And that's just an opening for his teammates to get back into the mix. They're still on defense here, but you're down 4 lives.
See, just taking a look at the specialist. John has the War Machine. Classic has the Vision Pulse. They try to use those 2 to win this round, and yep, they're going to do it. Vision Pulse popped. Barzilian able to find 1 in the back. Royalty still has the grab slam, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to spawn. So Royalty is going to spawn. He's going to have to use it. And yeah, you get nothing from the streaks of UIU. Classic still spawn killing, and here we go. Royalty trying to make the play as Gunless is going to call in a lightning strike. It's a 7 versus 3, but it's okay for LG right now. You do have to get in. It is a little scary.
Yeah, big grab slam. A big grab slam could do it.
They're just gonna be separated, right? They kind of have to be, and I feel like you check this corner. He's able to get 2, but is that enough? It's a 1 versus 4 in Methods. That's gonna be it. And LG win map 3, but UIU You threw that, like, you threw away so many streaks and advantages. That's a frustrating one.
Well, their time to feel a little bit, because I think there's been plenty of frustration on the other side of the stage. Some sloppy plays from UYU. I mean, they had to mount a big comeback anyway, going down 0-2 at the beginning of the control, but you thought for sure when you looked at it, like I was setting up the round 5, heading into the round 4, and then...
Yeah, you know what helps usually come back from 0-2 is, like, I don't know, 5 streaks. 5
They got, what, 1 kill? 1 out of 4? 1 out of 5?
I don't get the whole, like, spawn hellstorms that we saw. I get maybe like a spawn ping to see where they're going on their offensive round, where you can sort of cheat one of the zones and set up for it. But I don't know if they're just trying to catch them off guard, but it didn't work. So I think we don't do that anymore.
And maybe we'll see a team pull that out and make the play behind it, be able to get early control of the map and apply pressure towards their spawn. But they weren't able to do that. But you can see when we hop into the final moments of this, it's a difficult situation. You thought maybe the lightning in from Gunless to get the team kill onto John might be the opening that they would need. And then the grab slam combo's not enough. If he gets 3 and maybe not the team kill, who knows? You're in what? That'd be a 3v3 type spot. Like there was a chance, but he had to pop it. He had to pop it. You just gotta unfortunately not worry about your teammates there and just go for it as they start to fly in. But unfortunately, Zapdius drops. Royalty gets traded instantly after, as Gunless was a little bit more staggered coming in from the church lobby.
So LG still alive, and I believe we have 2 Haciendas in a row. This is a map that we've seen LG on Hardpoint and Search and Destroy play a good amount of, so they have a lot of repetitions. They're going to be comfortable on it. Can UIU put them away? That's the question.
And if I remember right, LG, after they won their 1 control, who is that against? Was it Reciprocity and then they got smoked the game 4? I'm trying to remember. I think that was the case, and then they got obliterated. Or maybe I'm mixing up the matchup. But I just remember after they won their control, whoever they played, the game 4, they got crushed.
But we'll see if they can sort of bounce back. Bit of a smile there from Classic, half a smile. It's better than nothing.
Well, hell, I felt good. You just saw the fist bump from, I think, Formal to Slack. I was like, oh,
yeah, something.
Gunless, I mean, he's a huge part of why they were able to go up 2-0 in that. I mean, he had the plays, the multi-kills in the round 1.
Yeah, I mean,
the tip is play to kind of close things out in the round 2 on offense.
It's been sort of this way all year, right, where, I don't know, when they've lose, they've been very vocal about it on stage. I don't think much has really changed, just the fact that they're not on the same page whatsoever throughout this slump these last couple of weeks. And, you know, even London, where they got, what, top 8, top 6, like, it's a half-decent finish.
Well, considering how bad they were in pools.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they go 0-3.
There's this big part of me that hopes they can figure it out, because it's just, I still think if this team fixes it, like, they're a team that can make a run at playoffs and champs. But like, it's just, it just seems so, it's hard to imagine at this point. They're just playing so poorly. I mean, hell, wasn't it Formal last year that had like he was having like an abysmal year and they dropped, what was it, like a 1-6 at champs or something like that? So, like, you got some guys that can turn up on the biggest stages, but...
And when Formal sort of departed from Optic, there was 2 pieces, you know, we've heard whispers that he wanted on his teams. It was John and Gunless. Like, we know that's who we wanted to play with for, for so long.
The rumor started Asia with, there's like a picture of them on Twitter at dinner together.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like that was circulating even, with like a year left for that team still at Optic. Like, that started circulating forever. You got what you want, but it has not been all happiness. That's for sure. You did get a major win, though. Not many players can say. Only, what, 15 this year?
Yeah, outside of that weekend, it has been pretty disappointing for Luminosity.
I just feel like we're just beating it to death with...
What else are we supposed to talk about?
I know. It's just, it's been so bad. All right, into Hacienda. Let's see if Luminosity can ride the little wave they created with their control victory. 3 go down, though. Formal almost caught, but just barely dips away to bottom steps. 30 seconds to the hard point, neither team really finding any time. Some nice shots from Barzillion, though, at top halls.
His ICR has been so good all year long. UYU, they're getting some of this time. They're also setting up for Garage. You see those arrows. Mayhem and Zapdius are going to head towards the top side of the map.
I love the stat I saw from Royalty. He was 0-0 with 21 seconds in the hardpoint. Finally died. He was just down there laying, soaking up the time.
That's what you want. You want someone on the team, especially a hill like that. Sometimes that's just what it comes down to, is just having one player commit to that time. But on this rotation, as the game is pretty much tied up, Classic does find 2, Slacked with a 3rd. So numbers advantage right now to Luminosity. But UIU able to set up a solid pinch as Methods is able to find 2 kills, and Zaptius is just being annoying top halls, and now you have LG in the position where they don't want to spawn.
Yeah, that's basically the best spawn you can get for them if you're UIU. Get them spanning all the way out towards well in that arch. Makes it so difficult to break. You don't have the close bit of reinforcement. They now get the closer spawn as some have pushed up those back garage, towards the backside of the garage, but still, it's UIU that's been able to stand tall inside the hardpoint. Another pair of kills for Zaptius.
Man, there's that switch, actually. It is John who's running that Maddox, that 3rd Maddox, and Classics on the SOG. So, yeah, what they talked about, they're just trying some new things out.
We'll take a look at the other side of the map now. Over defenses. They've got shed control. They're pushed all the way up to arch side. And Luminosity setting up this big push. That number 7 is playing so deep. That's Parzillion in the back. That's going to be spotting this push through. Gets eyes on 1, pushing down from the top bar steps. 2 are going to hit through a shed as they flew in from lobby. The swarm is here, but so far, what's a 3 for 3? 2 players left remaining from either end of it. Methods will get dropped. Brazilian was the guy playing deep. He gets caught, and that's the clean sweep. Everybody from UIU
A great pinch that was set up, and it came down to a couple of gunfights. Formal on one side, Classic on the other, and then they collapsed from there with Parzillion so far back. So solid teamwork. They're able to get in, but UIU respond right away as they find 3 kills, and now they contest at fences for the last 14 seconds.
Yeah, we'll say that a lot in Hacienda.
A lot of contest.
Oh, yeah, no. Clean sweep. They got 5 down. Oh, they've lost the hard point 3 seconds later. That'll happen quite a bit here. Royalty goes all the way around and finds an opening, but Slack goes big as he gets 2 before he finally drops. But the lone man inside the hard point right now is Methods. The rest patrolling kind of top halls. They're trying to set up a pinch behind Slacked on garage side. He may get shot in the back. I think he was about to get spotted, but it was horrible timing. As soon as he goes to lunge in, Zaptius just gets it too late. He gets there a second earlier. Maybe he catches Slack before he can get in. But UIU has still been here and been able to contest. Royalty is desperately trying to get the reload in, takes the gunfight to the edge, finesses around the corner, goes in for the shot melee, and just comes up a little bit short. When the dust settles, you still have 2 players from UIU.
Just so back and forth. I'm going to advocate for it, Dragon. If we could push the spawn just a little bit further back,
please, Lord
for
God,
our sake,
for my sanity as a commentator.
I tell you, I'm like, 3 kills, here we go, and it's just contested. I'm like, let's push it. Let's push it to the limits out here, all right? Let's get them. Let's punish these players, make them run farther.
Well, let's get into our second set of rotations now. LG didn't really find any time whatsoever. Anyway, well, to be fair, there was only 25 total points, I think, accrued in the first hard point. They were in there early, but they've been pushed out. Both teams just kind of vying for top halls control so they can look over the player in the hard point. Mayhem was that guy, but Formal able to pick him out. So despite the fact that the kill feed was mostly red, UIU hasn't got a ton of time. Now they start to solidify, though, as all of Luminosity spawning out towards backside of lobby. And now this is a healthy chunk of time for UIU to push open this lead.
Now in 20 seconds, yeah, LG is sort of split on their focus, trying to make sure they have garage for the next hill, but they don't want to give up too much time. I mean, they've already given up 30 seconds, plus Slacked and John go down, so that's going to be the rest. This is a very healthy first hill for UIU, and now that lead's going to be up towards 60 points. There's 1 player left. That was Classic trying to stay alive with that SOG inside a garage.
Let's see if Methods can get these streaks. Needs 1 kill. There it is. The first challenge is the second. Gunless just narrowly gets away. He can get this just based on objective points if he can stay long enough, but he's not going to need that. Does damage to both players. The collateral damage through. Gunless re-peaks, not at full HP, and Methods peeling him apart right now. That's 9 in a row. He's 18-9. Somebody had to step it up massively for UYU, and they're doing just that. And on the other end of it, it's well, classic 16-11, but your heavy hitters and what you would expect, and your Jean, your Gunless, and Formal, nobody really having a good map. One of them really has to start to go off if they're going to come back, because the lead's now 90 points and streaks available for UYU.
Yeah, Classic is doing what he's doing with his SOG. Like, props to him. You know, through the role change, having a very solid game right now. Needs the other guys to step it up on rotation. He's able to find Mayhem. They had to push the scrap time. Attack 5 is up for Formal. See if he pops that, and he will. Royalty has Grab Slam. See when he decides to pop it. Watch at number 5, though. That's Slash trying to work a pinch on the other side of the map. He is able to win it. Now here comes the pinch. As Jean's going to spawn up with Slacked. It's, yeah, you can go outside the map, but it's tough to see through it. Formal trying to stay alive. Nice shot punch on the 1. And this just trades back and forth. I don't know.
Well, Method still has these streaks to use. Luminosity doing their best to chip away at this lead. UYU hasn't really got any amount of time up until this point, but with 20 seconds left, the bit that was chipped away could build right back up. Rotating first over to our next hard point looks to be Zaptius. Spawning with him will be Parzillion. They'll head across. They've got a 2-on-2 really between backside of Rock and into Garage. Just fighting, UYU fighting from the left, Luminosity fighting from the right, but the streak gonna split them and back them up. I thought Royalty was gonna get a second with that, but he will get traded out, so can't clear out all of top halls. Slack goes real high, and Methods and Mayhem both end up back off spawn.
It was very interesting because
someone needs to get in the hard point.
Well, they were worried about the lightning. They were running away from that. Is UYU, Parzillion's going to find...
That makes a lot more sense. I was staring at the minimap, and I was like, someone needs to get close.
On that rotation, you had both Vision Pulses used. You had both Garage Slams used as well. Do you have any more streaks? Still have one more streak. I mean, UYU have been very quick on the trigger with those streaks, and Gunless is going to find 2 kills, as they had 3 going into this rotation, now only down to 2. But no more specialists for Luminosity. Methods is going to get a second TAC 5 boost. Mayhem is on his way to his War Machine.
UYU did a phenomenal job the second time through this first hard point. They were able to clear out LG early and get a solid, 30, 40 seconds from the hard point.
Slacked. That timing for Slacked. He was watching lobby for so long, and there's 4 dead again. As that TAC 5 does come through, that's going to be all 5.
And they've just dominated him.
Yep.
Second and third times here. Just absolutely dominated him. You still have TAC 5 available on a couple of players. The 3-man hit in from LG is they need to contest or clear somebody out of this hard point. As UYU, I know they can't put it away here, but they're going to get darn near close to closing out this game. It was, a couple of minutes ago, they were down 90. UYU's pushed out that lead once again.
Last 20, going to go to LG. So UYU, all their resources on this rotation. Can LG break on through? Still a few more seconds left. Methods is going to opt to use the Hellstorm on rotation to at least get them pushed out a little bit. You have Mayhem in position. He's going to go down. A couple go down for UYU as LG. You see them just grappling and flying on in.
They needed the early break. I know they haven't gotten the full break, but they've gotten the contest in. Now they've backed them up. Now they're spawning deep, and now a chance for Formal to get some streaks here. They still have 40 seconds to the hard point. They get all this. They're only down 30. And if they get the streaks, the rotation defenses could be absolutely huge. A gunfight he has to win. It's Mayhem that has his number.
I think Parzillion got a kill on a teammate watching over him from the Lambo, and then he was worried about the push from stairs. Just a couple of gunfights, and they would have had those streaks for fences. John, though, still finds his way back into the hill with Gunless, so
it helps that
they've contested this time.
Mayhem hit himself in the face, I believe, with one of those War Machine grenades. But only 21 more seconds needed for UYU. As we'll get back to the madness, that is fences. No streaks available from either end. Formal has the TAC 5 to use, and he's going to call that in, but 2 players were coming off spawn, so Classic and Gunless aren't going to get the TAC 5 treatment. John, I thought he was going to use attack 5 to the best of his ability, but as he loses the gunfight 4, going to drop for LG. The last man there is Classic that's trying to make the play, but he's caught by a cluster. UIU can close it out here. 4 more points needed. They're in the hard point. 1 more player with a chance to contest. They just barely get in. Gunless and Formal push through Shed and get back into the hard point. We're not quite done yet. Team kill doesn't help LG's chances, but it's really just Brazilian in position again. Now Gunless and Formal, who are top halls, they know they have to rally back. That's what's so tough. You would love to rotate at this time and get set up, but when you only need 1 more second, you don't have the ability to do so.
You do have 1 player already at the next hill, so can they hold on? This player's going to contest, and they held on. They're in the next one as well. Slacked and Formal won the rotation. Gunless held on the fences.
So what? Gunless is about to pick up his Tempest. John is about to get his War Machine as well. They can absolutely do this, but they can't get 1 clean sweep. Slacked with 2 big ones in through mid, snaps and almost gets the 3rd, but it's Zaptius that slides in, gets the final 2nd. There's no miraculous comeback from LG. UIU close out the series and get their 1st win of this 2nd leg. And LG, they still got to work on things.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's safe.
0-13 in hardpoint in search. 0-13. That's horrendous.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But I mean, congrats to UIU. You know, putting away LG, and you know those first 2 games coming back from a big deficit. The second one, that search and destroy, being down 3-1, Royalty keeping that snipe out, having that confidence, and then in that game 4, Barzilian and Methods, they both had over 30 kills, so they really stepped up.
And I like it. Methods, you know, he said we talked to Jess, he talked about composure, and all those games, when you talk about the hard point, the search and destroy, they were close. I mean, It's what, a 250 to 200 point type game in both of the hard points, and then you have a 6-4 search and destroy. So both of them came down to a lot of late game decisions, and UIU, they were the ones that were able to clutch up. But Methods dropped the bomb, got the streaks, went huge in the game 4, and we've got him on stage with your PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thank you, Clint. How does it feel to get your first win on the board for this phase of the Pro League?
It feels good. Obviously, last week wasn't ideal for us. We went 0-4. We knew coming in from London, we wanted to bring in Zaptius as our new SOG. Kind of risky to do without any practice, but we figured there's no better practice than the Pro League. So big week for us, big win for our confidence and momentum, and hopefully we can keep it going this week.
Before this match, you told me that you guys were more composed than LG. Can you talk to me a little bit about the importance of maintaining that composure in a game like this?
Yeah, it's not like we came in here expecting to destroy everybody. Like, we knew there'd be growing pains. We knew that there's a lot we need to fill Zap in on and just really learn to mesh together as a team. LG, you can kind of tell with the personalities on that team when they're feeling down, and right now they're feeling down, and we sort of just kept our heads level and came out with the win.
And from this series, what's the main takeaway?
Really just overall good gameplay. We had a really good search and destroy. I think we win the control and win the series 3-0 if I had a better map, but it's really good to beat a team like that. Despite their problems right now, they're obviously some of the most talented players of all time, so just excited to keep the week going.
All right, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Back over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so very much, Jess. And there you have it. UIU gets their first win, of course, of this series of the Pro League, now 1-4. LG still looking for a win. And I wonder, Study, to Method's point, do you think that the good thing from that for them was good gameplay, or do you think maybe it wasn't great gameplay?
It was definitely good gameplay out of UIU. Besides that control, that was just horrible streak usage. But UIU definitely deserved that win, especially coming back. I'm pretty sure they were down 90 that first map. And we heard Merc literally talk about Royalty in that second map. They were down 3-1, and they were just bringing it round by round. So you got to be feeling real consistent. Like Method just said, Zaptius, they didn't really get that much time to play with them. So their first week, they're going 0-4. They were just trying to fill them in. And now it's the second week, and obviously they look a lot better.
Do you think you're seeing steps in the right direction for UIU Pack, or still kind of the same?
Yeah, they did what they had to do to win a series. I think this more had to do with LG not being on the same page than UIU being like a super improved team, if I'm being honest.
LG stinks.
LG is just not very good. They made a bunch of role changes, specialist changes. That's what you do when your team sucks, right? You try to figure out
team sucks,
how to do like little things like that to like gonna magically patch your team, and it doesn't work. Like
That was my team last
like Gomez running an ICR Tempest with the trophy, and Formal switches role. Classic's now the main SOG. 2-year SOGs that you used to run, neither of them are running your SOG on Hacienda. So they just changed everything about their team in one day, and then they lost.
Now, Nameless, I actually wanted to talk to you a little bit about you've had that experience as a player before when your team was perhaps struggling and things were a little difficult for you. Can you talk us through what it's like as a player to be in that sort of a rut?
I'm sure Study and Pac-Man have had the same thing. It's like your team's not doing good. You start to switch up your roles like it's miraculously going to change. And then what you do is you add fuel to that fire that's already burning where you're just losing games, right? Like you switch your ICR to a Maddox, your Maddox to an ICR, and then you lose your superstar essentially because he's running an ICR, and then you see what Methods just did to them, right? So what he just did. You guys at home, 38-21, just dominating them with an ICR. You got to think maybe he doesn't go that crazy if Formal's shooting back at him with it. Gunless clearly isn't used to it. And then you have your previous Maddox player who's getting destroyed running a SOG now, not playing up to par as well. So it's like you're switching things around because you suck, and it's not working. So I think a roster change is probably in order for these guys. 0-13 in hardpoint and search and destroy.
That's horrible.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Now, I think actually, Pac, we're going to bring him up now, but you kind of wanted to talk about what was going on with the S&D. You can see it. We just pulled it up on our side.
I mean, there were just crucial moments. LG was in position to win this game, and they just couldn't pull it out. Even right here, like, you should have won after this round.
What this guy?
Methods checks bomb, gets caught in the opening. He probably thought that Gunless was coming on the other side because that's where he got the last kill, but he just ended up standing out in the open, crossing around. It's just, there's little things on both sides for both teams to improve on. In this round, I remember Formal moves up the street. They get this first blood.
First two kills.
First 2 kills.
Gunless gets traded, but then the lightning strike comes in, and they're just like, oh.
But they should know. They
Yeah,
should
they
know
should
and be
know
ready
it's
and be prepared to deal with it. But they waited so long in the round that they were stuck in in a tough position they could do nothing to win the round.
Yep.
At least those were good streaks out of UIU. Joe commented on the control.
Control was horrible.
There were some horrible streaker usage out of UIU in that map. And then here they had first blood again, and they still managed to lose. They were just giving up so much. They were giving up so much advantage in the search and destroy. Is my point. It's just, LG's teamwork it's just not there.
Well, keep in mind, like in that last round that we just watched, right? Like the lightning comes in, but they did previously have control of that streak. So the guys that get through lobby there, if they don't fly out the back door and they just try to go regain control of that bomb site, like they could make something work. But the patience is not there. It's like, right there.
They have time left at that point, to be fair.
True. I think they still might have had enough time to possibly get the bomb down. It would have had to have been fast, but like just the patience is not there.
I mean, if it's a breakdown in patience, perhaps a breakdown in communication, to your point, do you think you're starting to say players kind of go off on their own and just start doing their own thing?
I think it's lack of preparation, possibly at this point, and just mentality in game, giving up before the game's over. But yeah, nobody can say for sure unless you're on the team. But just having been in that situation before, I'd say preparation plays a hand in it. And then also when you're playing that match, people giving up too early.
Yeah. All right, well, let's pull up our schedule because we do have one more series for you. You can see it now. FaZe Clan versus Gen G. And, of course, that will happen in just a little bit. But before we get to that, of course, we need to talk about what did just happen. Again, Rec, Optic Gaming, and UIU, 3-0s and 3-1s to start out the day. But now we'll come back and talk a little bit about FaZe Clan and Gen G.